Hello and welcome to All You Leaders and Strategy. I'm Mike Harris and welcome back to the latest podcast, which I'm calling Leadership Myths Debunked. And I'm calling it that because over the years I've heard a lot of rubbish talked about what makes a good leader, what characteristics and behaviours they must have. So I thought it would be good fun to look at these and burst some bad practice. But before I do that, I'd like to welcome back everybody who's returning and welcome all the new listeners and viewers. So if you're new or if like me you have a short memory, I'm going to start with a short recap. I'm Mike Harris, a business leader with over 15 years experience at board level. I now run Strategist Consulting, a leadership consultancy which helps businesses and individuals to enhance their strategic business skills and empowers people through their ability to lead with confidence using strategy and business planning to teach, coach and mentor directors, leaders and managers on how to run a successful business. Based on our successful workshops and seminars, the intention of these podcasts is to help develop the next generation of business leaders. Now, we're all leaders in strategy. That's why you're here. And previously, we focused on the strategy part of that phrase. But now, we're putting the spotlight on ourselves and we're having an in-depth look at leaders. So everything we do, we'll be looking at through the lens of leadership. For some of you, this is not new. It will act as a refresher, maybe help you to develop as a leader. And for others, it will act as an introduction. And just remember, here I'm talking about business leadership. I'm going to quickly go over what we discussed on the last episode. And I make no apology for this because it can take a while for this all to sink in to the muscle memory. So last time we looked at the 10 steps to great leadership. And conveniently, they spell out leadership just to make them easier to remember. So here they are. 1, lead. Remember, you're a leader, so you must lead. The clue is in the title. 2, enthusiastic about your vision, your strategy, your team. 3, a visionary. Have a vision of the future and a roadmap of how to get there. 4, driven. Mental focus and confidence are important. So remember to succeed despite the problems, not fail because of them. 5, exciting. Make your vision exciting and it will make your team advocates and champions. 6, relatable. It's easier for people to believe in you and your vision if they can relate to both. 7, strategic. To be a leader, you must have a strategy. So start with the end in mind and think strategically. 8, helpful. Make sure you are supportive and making things better for your team. 9, innovative. Strong leadership means embracing the challenges and finding innovative solutions. And 10, people focused. Leadership is about people, motivating, inspiring and empowering them, making sure that they feel valued. So back to today's subject, leadership myths debunked. As I said earlier, over the last few years, I've heard a lot of rubbish talked about what makes a good leader, what characteristics and behaviours they must have. And I'm sure you've all seen or heard them. Maybe they're holding you back or affecting your team. So I thought it's important to dispel these myths. And I've grouped them together under 4 headings: personalities, characteristics, behaviours, and just wrong. And in fact, it's that last heading I'm going to start with. Myths that are just wrong. So the first myth is leader is a job title. Now, a few years ago, there was a trend where companies would put leader into the job title, normally replacing the word manager. So you'd got project leader or business leader or commercial leader or team leader. And they did that because they thought by putting leader into the title, that made the person a leader. But it doesn't. It doesn't change anything. They still need to develop their skills to become a leader. So leadership or leader is not a job title. It's a mindset. It's a way of life. The next myth is that becoming a leader is seen as a promotion. So you go from being a manager to becoming a leader on the way to being a director. But that's not true. Leadership isn't a promotion. You can be a leader at any level in an organisation. You can become a leader before you become a manager. You can become a leader way before you're a director. And the next step after a leader isn't necessarily manager or director. So it shouldn't be seen as promotion if you're being trained and developed as a leader. The next myth is there can only be one leader. But again, not true. an organisation that can have plenty of leaders at many levels of the organisation, and we're going to talk about that again a bit later. So moving on to personalities, the first is that leaders must be charismatic. But I've worked with plenty of leaders who I wouldn't describe as charismatic. In fact, one in particular I can think of was very dour, but he was a great leader, and that was because he looked after his team. He had a great vision. He was authentic, he was transparent, and he had great values that he lived by. And I must say, I've also worked with leaders who are very charismatic, but to be fair, couldn't lead their way out of a wet paper bag. The next one is leaders must be extroverts. But they don't. There are plenty of great leaders who have been introverts. Just look at Bill Gates or Albert Einstein. Both were introverts. And for those who don't know me, it might come as a surprise that I'm also an introvert. I have to work hard at being a leader. I'd find it very easy to sit in a room and just sit behind my laptop, shut the door and ignore what's going on, ignore the people I'm supposed to be leading. There are days when I have to overcome that and force myself to get out there, talk to people, communicate, make sure that the message is understood and it's being followed. So leadership isn't about being an extrovert or an introvert. It's about having the right skills. The next myth is leaders must be likeable. Now, I'm not saying that you should be hated, but remember, it's not possible to be liked by everyone. So don't even try. I've followed a lot of leaders who I wouldn't have gone down the pub and had a pint with, but I've respected them and I would have followed them to the ends of the earth. The next myth is leaders must be fearless. But it's okay to be scared sometimes. It can be very scary being a leader. The consequences of your actions can have huge repercussions. And I would say actually being scared sometimes means you care. That you care about your people, you care about the outcome. But I would also say that if somebody was truly fearless, that could lead them to becoming reckless. So moving on to characteristics, the first myth is leaders must be invincible. They can never make mistakes. But they do. We all do. It's an important way of learning. So don't hide your mistakes. Be open. People will respect it. So the next myth is leaders are always in charge, that they're the boss. It's a common misconception that there can only be one leader within a team, a department and a company, and it's always the person in charge. But that's wrong. As I said earlier, there can be lots of leaders at lots of levels of a business. I have seen apprentices who were great leaders, and within a team, they were the one who led the team, even though they were still training. And then the last myth is leaders are always the smartest guy in the room, i.e. the most knowledgeable. They know everything. They never make mistakes. They think that they must be smarter and know more than anybody who's working for them. But let's be honest, that's not possible. I'd even go as far as to say is not desirable. I certainly wouldn't want to be the smartest guy in the room. I certainly wouldn't want a team around me that are not as good as I am. I want them to be better than me. I want them to have skills I can tap into and expertise that I can use. A good leader must be able to tap into the skills and expertise of the smart people who are around them. So there you have it, 10 leadership myths debunked. And as I said earlier, they're all based upon my own personal experience. So in summary, the 10 leadership myths. First myth, leader is a job title. But the truth is it's not. It's a mindset, a way of life. Second myth is that leadership is a promotion. But the truth is it's not. It's a skill set. Third myth is that there can only be one leader. But the truth is there can be plenty of leaders within an organisation at many levels. Fourth myth is that a leader must be charismatic. But the truth is I've worked with many great leaders who were not charismatic. Fifth myth is that leaders must be extroverts. But the truth is being a leader is about having the right skills, not whether you're an extrovert or not. The sixth myth is that leaders should be likeable. But the truth is it's not possible to be liked by everyone, so don't even try. The seventh myth is a leader has to be fearless. But the truth is it's okay to be scared sometimes. And in fact, being scared is a sign you care. The eighth myth is a leader must be invincible. But the truth is everyone makes mistakes, so embrace them. It's a great way of learning. The 9 myth is the leader is always the one that's in charge. But the truth is there can be a lot of leaders and organisations at every level. They're not always the person in charge. And then last but not least, the 10th myth is that the leader is the smartest guy in the room. But the truth is that's not possible. Leaders must be able to tap into the skills and expertise of the smart people around them. So that's it for today. Hopefully that made sense. As you know, I like to set some homework. And today's homework is this. Look at yourself in the mirror. Did you believe any of these myths? And if so, how are you now going to change to make yourself a better leader? Let me know how you get on. I'd be really interested to hear about the changes you're making. You can comment below if you're watching this on YouTube. You can message me directly on LinkedIn, or you can email me using the email address that you can find on the website. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe by clicking the bell icon, and share with your colleagues who may be eager to develop their leadership skills. So where can you find us? You can watch us on the Leaders and Strategy YouTube channel, listen to us on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Podchaser. We upload these episodes onto my LinkedIn page and also onto the Strategist Consulting website. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it and you come back next time and join me when I'll be talking about the importance of leadership and strategy. I'll see you then. Thank you.